It's Academic is recommended as an educational and informational program for children.
Teams from Gaithersburg, Suitland, and Eleanor Roosevelt meet today in a first-round match on It's Academic! Here's the opening round. Each team begins with 100 points, 10 up for a right answer, but 10 off for a wrong answer. In this round, the contestants here in the studio don't see the writing on their screens that you do at home. Team whose light is on first has a chance to answer. This round is all about immigrant words. Just as America is a melting pot of immigrants from all over the world, so our language has adopted words from many nations and cultures. Identify the following foreign words used commonly in English. Number one, a Spanish word for small fly names this biting insect, such as the Anopheles. Gaithersburg.
Mosquito.
That's right. Next, from the Choctaw Indians, we have this word for a Louisiana swamp. Gaithersburg.
Bio.
Good. An Arabic word names this branch of mathematics that includes all right, Eleanor Roosevelt.
Algebra.
Algebra is right. Next, from Urdu, we get this word for the light brown color of many Army uniforms. Eleanor Roosevelt.
Khaki.
Khaki is right. We use this French word to name military clothing used for concealment. Suitland.
Camouflage.
Right. The Powhatan Indians gave this name to the only North American marsupial. Got that one? Possum is the answer. This French word tells you to take another route to avoid road. All right, Eleanor Roosevelt.
Detour. Detour.
Detour is right. This Spanish word refers to the military officers who rule a country after seizing power. Eleanor Roosevelt. Your answer?
Junta.
That's right, yes. A Dutch word gave us this name for the last car of a railroad train. Suitland.
Caboose.
That's right, and finally, it was Carib Indians who named this broadleaf, nicotine-laced plant. Eleanor Roosevelt.
Tobacco.
Tobacco is right, and there's the opening round of It's Academic!
It's Academic with Matt McGarry. Sponsored by Comcast, connecting people to what's important in their lives. And by Giant Food. You've got a giant on your side.
Let's go, Raiders! Let's go! Let's go, Raiders! Let's go! Let's go, Raiders! Let's go!
Thank you very much, everybody, and welcome to another first-round match of It's Academic. Let's go, Raiders! Let's go. Team number one is Gaithersburg High School, Montgomery County, Maryland. And first for Gaithersburg, Paul Rundquist. Paul?
I'm a 15-year-old senior from Gaithersburg High School, and I would like to thank our alternate, Patrick Claggett, because even though he's not up here, he's supported the team, and it's been a lot of help.
And it's only nice to do that, Paul. You're right. Here's Kevin Wilkerson.
I'm an 18-year-old senior, and I'd like to thank our great band and the rest of our school.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Michael McKay.
I'm a 17-year-old senior, and I'd like to thank my friends, my family, and our great faculty and coaches.
Or take a look at the screen, man. Each correct answer worth 20. Garages tow every car. Hidden is the last name of what woman novelist whose book, Uncle Tom's Cabin, had a major political impact in the 19th century?
Stove.
Right. Lied under oath, planned a kidnapping, embezzled money. You could be accused of perjury if you had done which of these?
Lied under oath.
Right, sure. New Jersey, North Carolina, Vermont. If you travel south from Canada to Florida, you would pass through these three states. In what order?
Vermont, New Jersey, North Carolina.
Correct. Christopher Plummer, Douglas Campbell, actors portrayed what legendary Greek king who blinded himself after mistakenly marrying his mother?
Oedipus.
Right. 6 issues for 10, 10 issues for 8, 24 issues for 24. If you were buying a magazine subscription, you would find which of these prices to be the best deal for you?
10 for 8.
That's good. Petronius, dead, without my permission? In the movie Quo Vadis, these arrogant lines were spoken by an actor portraying what Roman emperor who allegedly fiddled while Rome burned?
Nero.
Or Peter Ustinov in the movie, you're right. Gaithersburg, 240 after you're part of it. tonight's academic audience, we have members of the Big Gaithersburg Band, directed by Mr. Dan Grandy, and the student directors are Nathan Strand and Xiaomai Nguyen. Thank you all. There they are. Take a bow. Team number 2 is the team from Suitland High School, Prince George's County, Maryland. Here's Sophie Latham. Sophie?
I'm a 15-year-old junior in the VPA program at Suitland in the visual arts, and I'd like to thank our alternates, Eric Mack and Chris Ellis, for coming and supporting us.
Thank you, Sophie. Samantha Vernon.
Hi, I'm a 16-year-old junior at Suitland High School. I'd like to thank our coaches, Mr. White, Ms. Caldwell, and Mr. Wolf, and I'd also like to thank my parents for their continuous support.
Wonderful, Samantha. Thank you very much. Stanley Thompson.
I'm a 16-year-old junior at Suitland High School, music major, and I'd like to thank everybody who's come out to support us today.
Take a look at the screen, Suitland. 20 points for each correct answer. Humid as the jungle. Within this phrase, you can find the hidden name of what mythical king of Phrygia, a man noted for his golden touch.
Midas?
Right. Unbelievable, unfair, unorganized. Which of these words would best describe something that was inequitable?
Unorganized?
Unfair is the answer there. Missionary? None. Her work in these occupations earned what woman the 1979 Nobel Peace Prize for her work with the poor and dying in India?
Mother Teresa?
Right. Stephen King, Queen Victoria, F. Scott Fitzgerald, born in September in different years, of course. Place them in correct chronological order, starting with the earliest.
Queen Victoria, F. Scott Fitzgerald, and Stephen King.
That's right. $1 per square foot, $5 per square yard, $50 for 5 square yards. If someone were buying carpeting, he or she would find which of these prices to offer the best value?
$50 for 5 square yards.
That's $5 per square yard. The answer there. Sons of the gray wolf and the hind. This was the way the Mongol people referred to themselves long before they became conquerors of much of the world, under the command of what great leader who died in 1227?
Genghis Khan.
That's it. And so Suitland 200 after your part of that. Team number 3 in this first round match is the team from Eleanor Roosevelt High School, Greenbelt, Maryland, Prince George's County. Ben Thompson. Ben?
I'm an 18-year-old senior. I'd like to thank the band and the alternates.
Okay, thank you, Ben. And here's Kanan Mahadevan.
I am a 17-year-old senior, and I'd like to thank the cheerleaders for coming out and supporting us, and our coaches, Mr. Greenbaum and Mr. Smordick, and our principal, Mr. Conyers, for coming out and supporting us today.
Okay, Kanan. Daniel Rowlands.
Hi, I'm a 16-year-old junior. I'd like to thank our friends and family.
Okay, take a look at the screen, man. Each correct answer is worth 20 points to you. Don't be arrogant. Well, no one will think you're arrogant if you take a look at this phrase and find hidden in it what earth sign animal, such as Winnie the Pooh?
Bear.
Bear is right. His name, a contribution, an herbicide or a herbicide. A person interested in preserving his anonymity would not give you which of these?
His name. His name?
His name is right. Atchison and Rusk. These two men were not college administrators, as their names might suggest, but U.S. officials who held what cabinet rank held today by Colin Powell?
Secretary of State.
Right. Pearl Harbor bombed, Stamp Act enacted, Dred Scott decisions, 3 significant events in American history. Place them in correct chronological order.
2, 3, 1.
Snap Act, Dred Scott, Pearl Harbor is right. 5 for 25, 3 for 10, 10 for 50. If you were buying CDs, you'd find which of these prices the most attractive?
3 for 10.
Right. The multitude of books is a great evil. This was the sentiment of what 15th, 16th century German, who did a lot of writing himself as he started the Protestant Reformation.
Luther.
Luther is right. So Eleanor Roosevelt 270, the end of the round. Okay. I think I forgot to introduce the band over here. Yes, the band from Greenbelt, Eleanor Roosevelt, Christine Seawalk. Christine, take a bow. Thanks very much. There you are. Comcast believes that an investment in education is an investment in the future. Over the years, Comcast has invested in innovative programs to enhance the educational experience of students and educators from kindergarten through college. In the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area, Comcast offers free high-speed internet modems to schools, distributes more than $100,000 a year in scholarships, and has provided computer training to more than 4,000 teachers. Its academic teams compete for more than glory. Today, Giant and Comcast will provide $925 in scholarship money, $375 to our winning school, and $275 to to each of our other schools. By the end of the season, Comcast and Giant will have provided over $100,000 to our schools. And over the years, over $2 million in scholarship money has been given to teams competing on its academics. Giant and Comcast do not select the individual scholarship recipients, but leave that choice and the administration of the funds to the schools. Okay, good match going today. Let's check these scores before we get to the visual round. Gaithersburg in Montgomery County, 240. Suitland, Prince George's County, 200. Eleanor Roosevelt, Greenbelt, Maryland, 270. All visual round. Now each correct answer worth 10. 10 off for a wrong answer. Team whose light is on first has a chance. Let's all take a look here at number 1. Sundial shells like these are said to have inspired the design of the spiral staircase by what? All right, Eleanor Roosevelt. Your answer?
Duchamp.
I'm sorry, Ellen, it was Leonardo da Vinci, better known for the Mona Lisa, so 10 down. This jungle made life difficult for what 19th century journalist who traveled through Africa in a, all right, Gaithersburg.
Stanley.
Stanley, in search of Livingston is good. Captain Cook, whose voyages are described in this book, sailed to many exotic lands before being killed by natives of what Pacific islands? Eleanor Roosevelt.
Hawaii.
Right. Next on the screen, solve for X. Any takers? 120 is the answer there. Next, most dolphins live in salt water, but several hundred inhabit the Indus River. In what Asian country? Eleanor Roosevelt.
India.
Whose capital is Islamabad, Pakistan. 10 down. Choice. Red sunsets like this one reflect the fact that red light waves are shorter, longer, or more variable than blue wavelengths. Gaithersburg.
Longer.
Right. Pelicans sometimes hunt in groups using what kind of coordinated patterns that also named the Olympic swimming event set to music and involving, all right, Eleanor Roosevelt.
Synchronized.
Synchronized is right. This kente cloth sash was handwoven by women of the Asante tribe of what African country? The home of, all right, Suitland.
Nigeria.
Ghana, the home of UN Secretary General Kofi Annan. 10 down. The tail of a squirrel is not just for decoration. It acts as both a parachute and as what our initial part of a boat's stern that controls Gaithersburg.
Rudder.
Right. If you visit the Russian town of Simbirsk, it's not surprising to see a statue of what native son, the first head of the Soviet Union? Eleanor Roosevelt.
Lenin.
Lenin is right, and there's the end of that round. Academics. Welcome back. Now we have the pleasure of introducing the faculty, coaches, and administrators as we update the score. Good close match here. Gaithersburg, Montgomery County, score of 270. Kevin, please introduce our guests.
To my right is Jeremy Youngdale, a math teacher extraordinaire. And to my left is the alignment specialist, Kurt Richter, a science teacher.
Give that man an A. Very good, Kevin. Excellent. Thank you, Kevin. The team from Suitland in Prince George's County in at 190. Samantha, please do the honors.
To my left is Mr. White, our coach.
Welcome, Mr. White. Glad to have you here. Thank you very much, sir. And the lead here is held by Eleanor Roosevelt in Greenbelt with 280. Conan, you're on.
To my right is our assistant coach, Mr. Smordick. Behind me is our principal, Mr. Conyers, and to my left is our longtime coach, Mr. Jerry Greenbaum.
Thank you all, gentlemen, for being with us today. Now, teams move on to the next round. Each correct answer again worth 20. See the lights above the team's names. If they're on in a row like that, that'll show 8 questions in a row answered correctly. Good for a 25-point bonus. Gaithersburg is up, so Suitland selects. Samantha, which one? 1, 2, or 3?
Go with 2.
2. Okay, here are Paul, Kevin, and Michael with a chance in this round. Perhaps the only woman featured in 2 murals in the rotunda of the U.S. Capitol building is what Native American woman credited with saving the life of John Smith?
Pocahontas.
Right. Although the state of Maine can get very cold, the battleship Maine was in tropical waters in 1898 when she was blown up in the harbor of what Cuban capital city?
Havana.
Right. If you should tarry in Tarrytown, New York, you could visit Washington Irving's home near what river, sharing its name with a large Canadian bay?
Hudson.
Right. On the monitor, we see scapula, sternum, metatarsus. The more formal name for your shoulder blade is which of these? Scapula, sternum, or metatarsus?
First.
Scapula is right. You would expect to find high IQ residents on the Pacific islands of Bougainville and San Cristobal, as these islands are part of a chain named after what wise biblical king?
Solomon.
Right. You might want to study poetry at what small Pennsylvania college that shares its name with the poet who lived her life as a recluse in Amherst, Massachusetts. Your answer?
Dickinson.
Dickinson is right. Now on the monitor. Perform the indicated operation, giving your answer as a positive integer.
3.
Right. Although Hoover Dam is better known, Arizona has a giant dam named for what 30th president who immediately preceded Hoover?
Coolidge.
Bonus, Gaithersburg, yes. Good run there. Moves them up to 455. And now it's a turn for Suitland in Prince George's County. Eleanor Roosevelt select. Conan, which one?
3.
3? Okay, 3 for Sophie, Samantha, and Stanley with their turn. Had Hecate, the Roman goddess of witchcraft, traveled to colonial America, she would have avoided what Massachusetts town known for its witch trials?
Salem.
That's right. And next is this one. To supply Allied armies with gasoline following D-Day, more than 20 oil pipelines were laid across what body of water that separates France from Britain?
The English Channel.
Right. If you wanted a royal education, you could go to what U.S. state, where there's a King's College, a Queen's College, and the famous Duke University?
North Carolina.
Right. On the monitor, we see maturity, adaptation, stimulation. The chance variations, which improve the survival possibilities of an animal, are part of the process called maturity, adaptation, or stimulation.
Adaptation.
Right. An engineer building a bridge from Antarctica to Chile would start at the Palmer Peninsula and finish at what cape at the tip of South America? Have that one?
Cape of Good Hope.
I'm sorry, it's Cape Horn, no points there. A zoo is a menagerie of living animals, but in the title of a Tennessee Williams play, there is a menagerie made of what non-living substance?
Glass.
Glass is right. On the monitor, what is the value of the expression giving your answer as a positive integer? Got that? 250, the answer there. In 1881, Vermont saw its first native son reach the presidency when what Republican succeeded Garfield to become our 21st president? Got that? Chester Allen Arthur was the man. So, Suitland, 290 after you're part of the round. 290. Maybe number 1 here for Eleanor Roosevelt, the Green Belt, Maryland. All right, Roosevelt. George Washington's favorite horse had what same name as the Massachusetts town near Concord, where the opening battle of the Revolutionary War took place?
Lexington.
Right. Besides its leaning tower, Pisa can boast of being the hometown of what great Italian scientist who experimented with pendulums and telescopes?
Galileo.
Right. Romance languages include French and Italian, but a language called Romanche developed in what mountainous European country, home to William Tell and Heidi?
Switzerland.
Right. The monitor, vacuum, resistance, centrifugal force. When you drink an ice cream soda through a straw, you are creating in the straw a vacuum, a resistance, or a centrifugal force.
Vacuum.
Right. About 11,000 women joined the U.S. Navy as yeomanettes during what war that we entered in 1917?
World War I.
Right. A tube-nosed swimmer sounds like a type of scuba diver, but it would actually be a biologist's description of what seabird shot by Coleridge's Ancient Mariner.
Albatross.
Albatross is right. On the monitor, reduce this to its lowest terms, giving you what positive integer?
6.
Right. The only U.S. president who had previously been president pro tempore in the Senate was what 10th president who was followed in office by James Polk?
Tyler.
Bonus for Eleanor Roosevelt. And we'll be back after this message.
Welcome to another year of Giant Food's A-Plus Bonus Bucks program. You can help earn cash for your choice of schools by simply using your bonus card each time you shop at Giant. Just log on to www.giantfood.com or sign up at any Giant store to designate up to 3 schools on your bonus card. Then every time you use your bonus card, your school will earn points toward a monthly cash award. Last year, Giant awarded $2.6 million to over 3,600 schools. This year, Giant guarantees to award at least $2.4 million and hopes to award even more through the purchase of extra credit items and the support of our participating manufacturers. So sign up today for Giant Food's A-Plus Bonus Bucks program and support all the community schools that are helping our children realize their potential and fulfill their dreams.
What a match. Let's check these scores before we get to the grab bag. Gaithersburg 455, Suitland 290, Eleanor Roosevelt 465. Wow. Grab bag 3 for all, 20 up for a right answer, 20 off for a wrong answer. Visual questions, 30 points up or down. Here we go. Lights atop the Empire State Building were spinach green in January to celebrate the 75th anniversary of what spinach-eating cartoon sailor? Eleanor Roosevelt.
Popeye.
Popeye is right. Bells Are Ringing might be a good subtitle for what Victor Hugo novel about Quasimodo? Eleanor Roosevelt.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Good. In addition to developing new types of berries, botanist Luther Burbank improved what large, spiny-skinned fruit that is a major crop in Hawaii? Eleanor Roosevelt.
Pineapple.
Good. On the monitor, 30-pointer. Here you see the nymph Syrinx about to be changed into marsh reeds in her effort to escape what Greek god? Eleanor Roosevelt.
Pan.
30 points. The New York Mets were originally going to be named for what mighty mythical beings, such as Cronus and Oceanus? All right, Roosevelt.
Oh, Titans.
Titans is right. A young man appropriately called Chris Moneymaker won $2.5 million last year in the World Series of what card game? All right, Suitland.
Poker.
Poker is right. What small European country has been beset historically by antagonism between the Flemings and the Walloons? Eleanor Roosevelt.
Belgium.
Right. On the monitor, 30-pointer. Life is not a crossword puzzle with an answer. This statement was made in 1929 by what writer whose last name had 6 letters, including an X? His works include Brave New World. Roosevelt.
Huxley.
30 points. Though Ireland boasts a rock formation called the Giant's Causeway, the country is also said to be home to what mythical little people? Eleanor Roosevelt.
Leprechauns. Leprechauns.
Leprechauns in time for St. Patrick's Day. In 1896, the Rumford Medal of Britain's Royal Society for Science was given to what German physicist who had discovered X-rays are at Gaithersburg?
Roentgen.
Röntgen is the answer. Good. Though recently elected to the Serbian parliament, what former Yugoslav president is still in jail? All right, Roosevelt.
Milosevic.
Milosevic is right. On the monitor, a 30-pointer. Marianne Moore won the Pulitzer Prize for Poetry in what same year that saw Dwight Eisenhower's first, all right, Gaithersburg. You're on
53.
first presidential election, 52, 30 points down. There are many different varieties of falcon, but what specific falcon is found? All right, Gaithersburg.
Peregrine.
The Maltese falcon in the Dashiell Hammett novel, 20 down. The only state whose postal abbreviation. There's the end end of the game. Right. Yes, that was a short one, all right. Welcome back. And now we'll check the scores and present the awards from Comcast and Giants. That give us a small piece of music, and that was it. Okay, our fine team from Suitland High is up first. Suitland, 310 in Prince George's County. The award from Giant and Comcast is for 275. And next, the excellent team, Gaithersburg High, 475. Another award from Giant and Comcast, 275. A winning team and winning scoring, Greenbelt, Eleanor Roosevelt, 665. So they'll be back in the next round of competition. I'm Mac McGarry. Happy St. Patrick's Day next week. Check your paper for details on the parade. We'll be seeing you next week here on It's Academic. Now, come on up here.